right. You really want some, don't you? We are going to give these guys some treats. We have some cucumber and carrots and asparagus and kale that I did not eat quick enough. Man, you guys are hungry, huh? Here, let's put it over here. Let's put it over at the dry. Come on. Hi, everybody. Wow, you guys want this. Okay. Here. Do. Eat. Oh my goodness, look at them. They are so funny. Yummy! Hi! Oh, you're peeing. Cool. Hi, Peach! And it was here that my heavy breathing got really annoying. So I went ahead and fast forwarded it. You're welcome. Whew. Okay, I had planned on doing work in the garden today, but it is very cold and extremely windy. Everything that I'm wearing, the wind is going right through, and I'm miserable. So I am not going to do work in the garden today, and I'm not going to film outside today. So let's go talk inside. Hello again from in our junk room. Would it be a video of mine if I was not in my junk room? Today, and I guess I should start off, I am April from With My Hands Homestead. Welcome to my video and my channel. I hope you stick around and subscribe and watch our journey in the garden and raising animals and all that fun stuff, especially now that it is kind of end of winter, beginning of spring. Things are gonna ramp up and we are going to be busy. So there'll probably be a lot less videos like this inside and a lot more outside doing things. So I feel like you guys like outside more, but on a day like it's been really windy and really cold, you get more of these. So a couple days ago, I was listening to a podcast by Tori Sterling. She's not a homesteader or anything. She's like a motivational entrepreneur, wellness, healthy kind of person. And she was doing, actually it was one I caught up on from like November, but she was kind of doing like a helping you to think about reflecting on the past year so that you can help set up your goals for the next year. And she had a question that really resonated with me, and I just wanted to come on here and talk about it, and I hope that you guys think about it too, because I thought it was really cool. So the question that she asked was, think about your top 5 days from the past year, so 2019, and what did they all have in common? I feel like a lot of us can like rattle off what we know and what we like and what our goals are, but really thinking about, like, in reality, not just what we want to want or what we want to like. In reality, what were your favorite moments and what did they all have in common? And mine kind of actually surprised me. All of mine, when I thought about it, the commonality was awe, like the feeling of awe and amazement. I have a couple and I'll talk about them in a moment, but it 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 surprised me how it wasn't necessarily something tangible, or I don't even know what I thought it would be, but whether it's nature or even just myself, being in awe of myself and what I was able to do, those were the best moments. Like having those glimmers, I'm sure a lot of us can relate. It's really hard for me to be good to myself. I'm really hard on myself, and it's hard to think about my accomplishments and think that I do a good job. I'm really hard on myself in that way. And those little moments where I was like, wow, I really did a great job and I'm really proud of myself right now, that was what made my days. So this year, really what I've taken away from this whole new mindset thinking question thing is I'm going to be a lot more intentional and a lot more kind to myself and really notice when I do good and really be proud of myself and freaking brag about it. Like, I don't know why it's so frowned upon to brag. Like, you don't want to put other people down, but I want to share my accomplishments. I'm going to get on here and I'm going to get on Instagram and I'm going to tell all my friends what I freaking did, because we're all really amazing like that. We can all do really cool things, whether it's in parenting or your job or your garden or your homestead or whatever. Like, you let people know what you do. Like, let people be proud of you. I love to hear other people's accomplishments. Like, that's inspiring. That's amazing. So let me hear what you're proud of yourself for, because I love to hear it. The first kind of moment or group of moments, I guess, that really came to mind when I was thinking about my favorite times in the garden were, and it's probably going to sound weird, but the days that I took Instagram pictures of my harvest. Totally not about social media, but being able to have enough, first of all, and such a beautiful array of vegetables, or even if it was just like a picture of tomatoes, like the different sizes and colors and shapes, and they were all so beautiful. Like, everything was so beautiful. And looking at those and even looking back at my pictures, that's what I imagine people feel when they have like a flower garden. I've never had a flower garden. I love looking at other people's flowers, but it was just so beautiful. And I was so in awe of what nature could do with just like a little help. Like, I did like 10% of the work and nature just knows what to do, all in a tiny seed. I'm trying to look for a seed on the ground because in this room I'm sure there's a freaking seed on the ground. But in like that tiny little seed, it just knows what to do, and there can be abundance and so many, whether it's tomatoes, cucumbers, or eggplant, or ground cherries, or cucamelons, whatever. Like, isn't that amazing? And I just remember when I was in the process of like picking and arranging and just admiring all of that produce and all of that harvest, I just felt so proud of myself for doing it and just so happy. Just so happy and amazed and content. And I definitely am looking forward to that part in the coming year. The second memory that really stuck out to me was with the sheep when our very first lamb, Kevin, was born. And I don't think I've ever really talked about it before, but it was the weekend of my son's first birthday, and my husband had gone out of town to go pick up a new bloodhound puppy that we had bought. So he was out of town, and I had taken my son out somewhere. And when we came back, they're actually like in our front yard, I guess. Like, you have to go past the pasture to go up to our house, and so I always count the sheep just out of habit to make sure they're all there. We only had 7 at the time, so it's not a very high number. And I was like, is that a cat in our yard? Because we didn't think they were pregnant. They didn't look pregnant. Only one of them looked pregnant at all. We thought it had been a wash. We were like, okay, that didn't work. What do we have to do next year to like really track it and make sure that our ewes get pregnant? But I be darn, there was a little lamb just out there. And I was so amazed again at nature, and just like, I had been so anxious about the birthing process and like, hearing all these horror stories of having to pull lambs and making sure, the placenta is out and all these things. And I felt so unprepared. And of course my husband wasn't there. And I was so like, in the moment it was really scary, but it was perfect. It was perfect the whole way through. And I know that's rare, and I can't believe that's how all of our lambing went the first year. And we had 4, right? Or no. I'll have to look back at it. I think we had 4 lambs that last year. And they all went perfectly, totally unassisted. All of them, we didn't even know they were in labor, didn't even know they were freaking pregnant. Like, just in the morning, oh, there's lamb. And it just is so amazing. Like, even with humans, like, it's like a baby comes from nothing, and all the parts are in the right place, and they're just these little people or little animals, and you just have to do this one little thing to make it happen. And that's just so amazing, and that's so cool. And even now, looking out at those lambs that were from last year, and they're about to have their own babies, and it's just so cool. It's amazing, and I never want to lose that wonder. Even though they're meat animals, they're not pets, we eat them, and we ate Kevin, to be completely honest. But that's what I love about raising our own meat, because you love them, and you watch them grow, and you're in awe, and you appreciate them so much. And I have a whole other video kind of about that. But like, I just really feel like by appreciating them and loving them and seeing them and honoring them and knowing the sacrifice that they had to make to nourish myself and my family, that's the only kind of meat I want. Like, I don't want animals to be abused. I don't want to eat meat that's just not from our house. So again, very similar kind of, even though this is related to livestock and my other memory was about the garden, it's all about awe. Like, nature is so cool. So the last memory that I wanted to speak about is that moment, and I hope some of you can relate to this. I know not everyone can, but that moment when you have a plate for dinner and everything on that plate was from your farm. That is such an amazing feeling, and I feel so proud of myself. I feel proud of my husband. I feel proud of our animals and our garden, and I just feel pure joy. Like, at that point, it doesn't even matter what it tastes like. Like, being able to know we have the skills, even though it doesn't feel like it 99% of the time, we are able to do that. We're able to feed our family. Like, if everything went haywire and we didn't have grocery stores or whatever, we could make it. We would be fine. And that's a really cool feeling. Like, how cool is that? Not a lot of people can say that. So that's just amazing. I keep saying the same words, and that's why I love this question, because it's all related. Like, it's really neat to figure out what makes you keep going, and it might be different than really what you thought. So I'd really love to hear what keeps you guys going and what you're proud of and what you're in awe of. So definitely comment below and subscribe. And I will be back with you Monday. I try and post every Monday and Thursday. So I'll see you then. Bye.